What kind of tile can you put on the wall or shower? Do you have to seal tile? How much extra tile should I buy for my project? What thin set is the best for my tile application? How hard is it to maintain natural stone? You have questions, we have answers. Welcome to the Belk Tile Podcast. How to style the bathroom, the backyard, the kitchen. How to improve your home style with tiles to make your home absolutely beautiful. Welcome to the Belk Tile Podcast. Here's your host, Mike Belk.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Belk Tile Podcast. I'm Mike Belk, and I'm hanging out here today with Abby. As always, Abby, how's it going?
Hey, Mike, doing great. Excited for this episode. I love chatting about color, and honestly, this is the number one thing clients ask me about. How the heck do you pick a tile color and not lose your mind?
Yeah, it really is one of the toughest choices. I always tell people it's not just a paint chip you can slap on the wall and redo next weekend. Tile is, a bit more permanent. And a lot of homeowners are basically drowning in inspiration photos on Pinterest, Instagram. But the thing is, most of those images, not your lighting, not your space, the tile that looks all warm and mellow online can turn icy or, just weird under your kitchen's fluorescent lights.
Exactly. Color's never happening in isolation. I've lost count of the clients who bring me a photo and say, I want this look. But when we start matching samples in their home, half the time the color just doesn't land the same way. Because let's be real, you've got to consider all the other players. Cabinets, countertops, wall color, the whole deal. Not to mention how clean a space feels. Like white tile can look super crisp online, but in real life you see every little smudge.
And honestly, I had this client last year. She picked out this tile from a website photo, thought it was the absolute dream. We ordered it, did the install, and as soon as the grout dried, it was, wait, why does this look olive green instead of the beige I loved? It wasn't just the lighting, it was her dark cabinets and the north-facing windows throwing off the whole vibe. So yeah, it's not just about what looks good in a sample photo. You got to plan for your space.
That's such a classic scenario, and you touched on this, Mike. People are worried about if something's going to feel dated in 5 years or if their house won't sell because of a bold color. It's a lot to juggle. But I do think there are some patterns now, more so than even a few years ago, in what's really working for people. Let's talk about what's hot lately. I mean, colors people are actually living with and loving, not just what's trendy for a second. So, warm neutrals. I feel like this is the shift lately. Creams, soft beiges, those sort of sand tones that work with, well, almost anything. They just make a room feel safe, inviting instead of sterile.
Absolutely. Warm neutrals have really stepped in where the bright whites and cool grays used to rule the roost, right? And it's not boring. Those colors just kind of let the other pieces in your house do their thing. Plus, they're forgiving. Like if you tracked in a little mud, you're not stressed about every speck showing up. My wife's favorite is that mellow cream with a hint of gray to it, almost a stone feel.
Yeah, same. In a recent kitchen, I did this soft beige subway tile with warm wood shelves. It's just timeless, never feels trendy or like it's going to expire in a year. And you get this beautiful light bounce without it feeling cold at all.
And we're seeing earth-inspired tones making a comeback too. Clay, taupe, muted greens, terracotta, that whole palette. People use them as accents mostly, which I think is super smart, like in a backsplash or a shower niche. Gives you that grounded, natural look without overwhelming a space.
Exactly, like a little olive green in a bathroom niche just warms things up, and you don't get sick of it the way you might with a big wall of bright blue or purple or whatever, Muted is the secret, and it feels expensive in a good way. Nobody regrets soft, livable color later.
I think that's part of why these colors are so big right now. They last. We actually touched on this in our first episode about brown tiles, but choosing shades you can build a whole design around is kind of the magic trick.
So let's get a little controversial. What's getting called into question these days? First up, cool grays. They're not gone, but if you go all in, unless you've got tons of warm wood and sunlight, it can get chilly fast. I've seen some really flat rooms. No offense to gray lovers out there.
I'm with you. I remember when it felt like every new kitchen had a gray backsplash, then a gray island, then gray tile floors. And it looked great in magazines, but in real life, especially without natural light, it's, how do I put this, like walking into a weather report. Cloudy. When you mix it with wood, it can still work, especially those warmer grays. But otherwise, folks start to regret it after the novelty wears off.
Now, what about white tile? I get this. Isn't white always safe? And my answer is sorta, but people are dialing back from that super bright white, especially for large surfaces. Cleaners and shadows are your enemy. Every wall imperfection, every speck of grout, it all pops. So folks are picking soft off-whites, creamy colors, so you keep a clean look, but it's just less harsh, more forgiving, especially if you've got kids running around or, if you don't want to scrub every day.
Completely. And then there's those deep dark tiles. Used, right? Amazing. Used all over a huge floor. Hey, suddenly you see every water spot, dust, paw print. Tried that myself once, to be honest. Never again for a big area. But in a powder room or as a feature wall, that's where charcoal or deep slate delivers major drama without swallowing up the room.
Totally. I just finished a powder bath where we went nearly black on the floor. Just a small room, and it became this moody little hideout, honestly. Guests love it. But I'd never do it in a wide-open kitchen. It's all about balancing the wow factor with practicality in my book.
Let's shift gears and talk about finishes, matte versus glossy, and all that good stuff. Finish can be as big a decision as color, if not more so. Personally, I'm a huge supporter of matte these days, especially for floors and shower walls. You don't see every fingerprint or drip, less maintenance, more peace of mind.
Yeah, matte is everywhere right now. People like how soft it looks, and clients tell me it doesn't glare at you under bright lights. Just an easy finish for big, busy areas. The only trap is going too cheap. Then it can look chalky, not good. But a nice quality matte feels luxe.
Exactly. Now, glossy tiles, they've still got their spot, especially in kitchens, backsplashes, sometimes as a shower accent. Nothing bounces light around a small space quite like gloss. Downside, you'll notice that tomato sauce splatter, but hey, it's a backsplash, it's meant to take some abuse. People are willing to put in the extra cleaning if it brings that pizzazz.
Right. But honestly, my favorite trend is mixing the two, do a matte wall and a glossy niche, or pair a gloss border with a more toned-down field tile. You get great depth without going wild on color. We talked about mixing textures back in our shower floor episode, and it works here too. Subtle, but it pops just enough.
You're reading my mind. People love a little visual variety. It keeps things interesting without feeling busy. Plus, it's a clever way to highlight the fun spots like a shower niche or an accent wall without overwhelming the room.
Since we're talking about features and making things pop, can we talk about statement tile? There's so much going on right now. We're finally seeing folks break out of the basic subway, and the pattern you're going to hear about a lot is plaid. Apparently, plaid tile is going to be everywhere by 2026, and I gotta say it's bold, but still kind of classic too.
Yeah, right. I was reading about that on Apartment Therapy. Designers are super excited for plaid because it has roots in tradition but looks totally fresh when you do it with, say, some marble microsaics or even in subtle tones. Eli Meklovitz from Tile Bar was saying how checkerboards and plaid invite so much creativity, just endless mix and match options. And Jamie Chappell's point about people being tired of resale-focused, all-white looks, spot on. Everyone wants something personal now, a space that feels like their own.
Exactly, and you don't even have to go over the top, like a plaid pattern can be cozy or dramatic. I think about Anatolia Soho mosaics, or those gingham-inspired floors in a kitchen. Even a little pattern in a shower niche brings some joy. It's a callback to traditional design, reimagined for right now. I know, Mike, you always mention being careful not to go overboard, but a feature wall or a border can be just enough.
I still remember in my parents' entryway, checkerboard marble, classic as can be, and now we're seeing that border detail come back, just evolved. I guess some things really are timeless, huh? Anyway, the big thing is, you can take inspiration from these statement patterns, but keep your main choices calm and flexible, like we always say. Layer in those fun details where they count.
Couldn't agree more. So whether you're going for cozy plaid or just want to mix some glossy with your matte, trends change, but personality endures. As long as you choose what supports how you want to live, you really can't go wrong.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you're feeling a little more confident about picking tile colors and finishes now. Seriously, don't stress so much about what's in online. Focus on living with your choices day in, day out.
Yeah, and if you liked this, follow the podcast, share it with a friend who's maybe overthinking that backsplash. We'll dig into more trends and real-world advice in the next one. Thanks, Mike. This was fun.
Always a pleasure, Abby. Have a good one, folks. Catch you on the next episode.
You've been listening to the Belk Tile Podcast. When it comes to creating a beautiful home using tile, this is the podcast for products, design ideas, and tips. We hope you got some useful, practical information from this show, and we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, reach out. The website is www.belktile.com. Our store phone number is 614-543-8334. Find us on Facebook and Twitter at Belk Tile and on Instagram at Belk Tiles. Make sure to leave a rating and review. And if you have questions or comments, reach out. And we'll talk about it on the next show. Till next time.